Hello and welcome to DWTT. I'm Gary and this is my Arsenal channel. The segment today is called What I Saw, and what I saw were the Jekyll and Hyde Arsenal, the one that went down three and the one that fought back and was able to get three again, to get a 3-3 score against West Ham, a team that we had played early in the season, and we were lucky enough to get the win. They were able to we were able to kind of scrape that one out of there at the end. This one, it looked like it was going to go the other way pretty fast. That first 30 minutes, they just took it away from us, and it looked like we weren't going to be able to get it back. But there was enough time left on the clock. There was, just under 60 minutes at that point when we were down 3 goals, but we were able to fight it back. And I guess we'll start first with, the usual, the lineup. So if you look at the lineup, first thing you're going to see there is, usual Leno and goal. But on the back line, what was so surprising is Chambers was there, and I wasn't expecting to see him. Definitely thought I see Cedric, since this was what I considered a big game for us. But Chambers is there. Okay, he can play there. He's a tall player, and that's kind of what we were looking to use him for. And then we would see how he would work on the offensive end. Louise and Marie kind of was a little bit of a surprise with Gabriel playing so well. Marie, I say probably a number two defender in that center back role. But playing with Louise, we should expect to see no drop in form. But it looked like, but we'll get into that later. Turning off on the left hand side, playing his usual spot. In the middle, you got Jacques and Partey. That combo seems to be the one we're going to be going with for the rest of the season when we need the points. Hoping to see Partey continue to improve, and maybe I'll make it through 90 minutes. Next up, you've got Saka, Erdegaard, and Aubameyang. Uh, okay, all right. Aubameyang on a wing. That's a little surprising. After he had so many opportunities from the striker position, it looked like maybe they keep him here and get him some looks. But off on the wing, that kind of meant that one, Emil Smith Rowe and Pepe, weren't going to be playing to start this game, and then Lacazette up top. Okay, Lacazette, I feel, he's been playing really well. My only concern is that will we be able to keep him? Can we afford to keep him? I guess we'll find out at the end of the season. So, that's how we lined up. Expected to see, we had a strong bench, Gabriel, El Nene, Smith Rowe, Pepe, and Martinelli all on the bench. So if we needed to get goals, we've got a strong bench with Smith Rowe, Pepe, and Martinelli. Maybe we'll see them at the end, or before, when we need them. Since this is West Ham, the concern for me was the Declan and Soucek, right? Declan Rice and Soucek in the middle, and who would dominate there, along with some of their other players. Lingard was going to surprise us, everybody expected, and he did that. Um, so get a little bit into the game, but I'll let you know a little bit about my five. So when you see this come out, the my five will be coming out soon after. But the my five for this game was Lacazette, Aubameyang, Partey, Chambers, and Luiz. Just the five I thought we needed to take a look at and see how they were going to do. Lacazette up top to see if he's going to continue how been playing for us, and see if that will continue. Aubameyang, will he be able to get out of his rut and maybe get a goal or two? uh, Partey, just to see continued improvement. Can he make it 90 minutes? Chambers and Louise defensively in the back, see if that's going to be solid. Chambers, was he going to surprise us or what? I guess we'll find out. So let's get into the game. Wow. Okay, so the first 30 minutes we came out, thought we actually looked pretty decent, and for that first, 10, 15 minutes, except for the fact that it seemed as if we just the style we were playing was letting them get as much possession of the ball as they wanted. Seemed to be playing in our defensive side most of the game. Actually, as much as I thought the game was going okay, that first 10, 15 minutes, I thought, okay, well, maybe we're just trying to feel them out, and maybe we'll turn it on at some point. But no, we didn't. We didn't turn it on at all. We actually kind of turned it off, and that led to basically 3 goals in about a 22 minute period. They said basically in a 20-minute period, they basically went from 0-0 to 3-3, and yeah, we looked really bad. First goal goes in, Lingard, Antonio takes the ball down the left side, pulls it back to Lingard, who's sitting there at the top of the key with lots of space, and he boots it right into, far right corner. Uh, Leno doesn't have a chance. Next goal comes in. Uh, Here we go. Jesse Lingard gets the ball, gets it to Bowen. He's able to put it in. I just, I don't, that one was a little disappointing because that one happened after we had a foul. We kind of fouled and we got a free kick and we kind of shut it off. All the players kind of start walking around. Lingard walks up to a ball sitting there. Referee is probably like, all right, let's go. Ball stopped. Let's do it. We saw the exact opposite happen in the game where same thing, similar thing, player free kick, ticket. Nope, not allowed. When I and they called it back. Not for us this time. I think we really didn't deserve it because we pretty much shut it off. I mean, everybody shut it off. Lingard gets the ball out to Bowen. Bowen, smallest guy in the field, is able to get a shot in the near corner, which, you think Leno's going to be able to stop it. He doesn't. It gets past him. Goal down to, a couple of 10 minutes or so later. They're able to get a cross through in the air. You know, you've got Luis back there. You're expecting him to maybe attack that ball in the air. Uh, he he doesn't seem like he's too interested in attacking the ball. Antonio gets up above him, crosses it, puts a head on it, crosses it across the goal. Goal. Now we're down 3-0, and I'm pretty much thinking the game's over. Wow, how are we going to come back from this? This team's, if they're going to continue to play this way, if we're going to continue to look like we are, how in the world are we going to get back into this game? Figured it was over at that point. But as Arsenal has shown us, it doesn't matter. They still have a little bit left in the tank. They have a little bit more energy, a little bit more fire. And then they were able to kind of, I guess wake up. Why does it take a goal from the other side for us to wake up? Why can't we actually take the initiative and actually do what we're supposed to do? Um, at the end of the game, you heard, if you heard it, you would have heard Lacazette basically say, what did he say here? He said, we didn't respect the game plan from the coach. Wow. That to me seems a little damaging, right? As a team, they did not respect the game plan of the coach. And what does that, to me, that means that, you know what, they don't trust him. They don't have the confidence in what he's asking them to do. It sounds like he's got confidence in them to do it. And, I think from what they did in that second half, they do have it. They don't trust him or they don't have the confidence in him as that he has in them. And, I to me, it could have been part of some of the players, but it also they finally, I guess, decided, you know what, why not give it a try? We're down 3-0. Why not give it a go after halftime? I guess we looked better. But before the end of the half, we were able to get the ball. One of the surprises for the day was Chambers. He put in a lot of crosses, and we'll get into that in my five. But he put in a lot of crosses to no one, to many a no one, basically, because that's usually what happens when we put crosses in. It's just nobody ever there. Uh, Nobody from our team, anyways, seems to always be getting cleared. But he did put a cross in, uh, and he went off Thomas Schuster, and in the goal it went. Actually, I'm jumping ahead. That's in this later in the second half. That first goal in the first half. Sorry for my absence. Actually, that was a goal that I believe started with Odegaard, and he got the ball out to Chambers. Chambers crossed it into Lacazette, and Lacazette was able to stop the ball, make a nice spin, and shoot it. If you listen to Moyes, he thinks that ball's going wide, uh, but Souček is the one that actually deflects it in own goal. I like to think, like I said, probably was going to put that hopefully between the sticks. I mean, we need that. We needed that at the time, but nonetheless, it deflected off them, went in the goal. We'll take it. They got a couple of chances from us, and I think we deserve the turnaround with the play that we had at that point. And that looked to be how we were going to finish off the rest of the game, as you can tell, as you'll see from the rest of the rest of the game. Going to halftime, come out first 10 minutes, looking at what's going on. What the world is this? This is what happened to the team that started the game and for the first 30 minutes looked like they weren't interested, but they they woke up. Um, we were on the attack, on the attack, on the attack, on the attack for a lot of that game. Uh, just putting balls in, looking like a different team than what I had thought. Um, we what did we do? We eventually we were able to get a ball out. Once again, Erdegar gets the ball out to Chambers. Chambers puts a cross in. Own goal off their defender. Uh, wow, off Craig Dawson this time. Two deflections, two goals for us, 3-2. Game's looking like, all right, we were back in business with the first goal. Now we're definitely back in business with the second. Man, uh, it was amazing. It's crazy to think that at one point we were down 3 goals, and now it's 1 goal lead, and we look to be the one on the front foot. They look like to be the team that was just trying they had their opportunities, of course, but the momentum seemed to be on our side, and at any moment they could change it, and they showed it multiple times. We'll kind of get into some of those looks, but uh, go back to the starting lineup. One of the negatives in the game was just the play of Aubameyang. Didn't I didn't feel like he was in the right spot. Did not look like a player that felt comfortable where he was. He was on the right hand side, and he moved back to the left hand side. I don't think either one worked in that second half. One of the last things he did was he drew a foul, got a free kick. Uh, then he was subbed off. And meanwhile, he's walking. It gets out of bounds, and he's walking around the pitch. And Martinelli comes on. And one of the surprising things, long before that, I was sitting there doing a watch along, and around 74th minute, I'm like, if we're trying to chase this game, why not bring on Emil Smith Rowe? And we see he's coming on, and I'm like, why not take off Xhaka? If we need, what's the difference between a 4-2 loss you know, and a 3-2 loss? Not much, at that point. So why not go for it? So Emil Smith Rowe comes on. At the same time, Pepe comes on for Saka. So you got Saka and Xhaka off the pitch. And meanwhile, Xhaka does, like I said, draws the foul. Ball, a free kick happens, pretty fast after that. And you know, we're looking, later on. Uh, I guess I talked about those subs were at the 74th minute actually, and then around the 81st minute is when Gabriel comes on for Aubameyang. So Aubameyang, like I said, his last contribution was that free kick that he drew. Gabriel comes on. Then we take a quick free kick at that point. Ball gets out, and ball eventually gets out to Pepe. He puts a cross in. Doesn't take too many touches. Puts the cross in, and there's Lacazette able to come through, put a header in. Game is tied. As they're celebrating, they're actually celebrating with Aubameyang off the field because he's right there to see it, and pretty much a front row seat. We get the 3 points, and then we look like we were trying to get more, which is pretty good to see that, we weren't selling just for the draw at that point. We were looking to attack. The attacks were coming on both sides, so, we got lucky that, nothing negative happened, but, they had some opportunities, we had some opportunities at that point after, we got that goal. Pepe once again is able to, get a shot obviously on his left foot coming off the right hand side I believe he goes between the leg. Goalie's there to snag it though. Later on, Declan Rice does decide to take he decides I'm going to take the ball away from midfield and is able to get a shot off, stings the hands of Leno. Nothing. Yeah. Later on, Pepe gets a shot. Nothing comes of it. He looks like he's actually getting pulled to me. No, nothing was called. You listen to Moyes, they got some calls there go against him. I feel like we got our players are got pulled a couple of times and no call was made. It took us off our shot. And some will say it's good defense, but if it went the other way, they would want the kick, the penalty. Later on, you've got Erdegaard makes a pass to Martinelli, just can't get there, gets to the goalie before he's able to get a foot on it. I mean, we looked attacking. It was nice to see with the addition of the subs, the later, the younger players coming on. Like I said, Milsruf, Pepe, and Martinelli. I think that bringing them on was pretty good. I would have liked to have seen them on a lot sooner, maybe all together, because that would have probably changed the momentum of the game at that point. But it was good to see them come on and actually contribute to to get a point out of it. Um, as a team, I think some of the things that happened in this game, uh, we pretty much fell asleep for about 20 minutes, and that's what essentially happened on that quick free kick that they got. Partey and Tierney, basically after the the foul, basically just kind of started walking around, and as a defense, we all walked around. I think Marie actually is able to get close to the shot, but not close enough. Leno should have been protecting his goal, wasn't. Was able to get the ball pass. I always say that sometimes Leno needs to make that play. He needed to make that play. It wasn't his fault that it went through, or it wasn't his fault that they got a shot off, but it probably was partly his fault that he wasn't able to keep the ball out of that the close side of the goal that he was sitting on. So, but as a team, we kind of lacked a little bit of attentiveness to what was going on in the game. You know, in that first half, if you told me, you looked at the whole game, you say in that first half we dropped 2 points basically in that first half, and in the second half we were able to get a point out of it the way we played. That's kind of how I looked at it. I think West Ham will look at it as like they lost three. They lost 3 points for sure. They lost 2 points. They dropped 2 points, but we were able to get a point out of it, so we'll take it. The first 35 minutes of the game, we only got one shot to their eight. Not with the lineup that we have. We should be able to do better than that. Um, some were saying that we were resting certain players because of the international break. I don't like that. I don't get that. Milsruf, Rowe, and Saka. Saka got pulled out. Milsruf, Rowe kind of rested. I don't know why we are resting our players for international break when we've got some serious things to deal with. These players get paid by us a lot more than they do for the international game. So, if they're tired going into that and the managers know that, then they'll treat it accordingly. Um, After the game, Arteta was talking. Wasn't happy with the first half. He expected 6 goals, which, I kind of like. I mean, maybe it would have been a 6-5 game and we win it anyways, but he definitely was expecting a lot more from the team. The second and third goals, he said unacceptable. He basically said unacceptable multiple times because not only did they could have scored that fourth goal when it hit the post off of Antonio. So, we got lucky there. I mean, I think, in the sense they kind of got lucky too that we weren't able to come back all the way and get all of the points. So, I mean, it's more in them, I think, because of the fact that they went out 3-0, but it's disappointing on us that we had to get down three to actually show that we can compete with them still. You know, we are in form. We are probably in better form than they are, but they are ahead of us on the table, and they do some things that are really good, and we just weren't. We couldn't take advantage of that. We kind of gave them, once again, we kind of we spot teams some goals, and then we have to come back. We did that today, so that was good. Uh, all in all, 3 points were lost. 2 points were lost by both teams, and we'll take the draw now after all that's gone through. All right. So that's it for what I saw. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe and like the video. Leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you enjoyed it. Look out for my 5 that will be coming out a little bit later. Actually, I'm probably gonna record it right after this one, and then we will, we'll push it out there for the world to see. So hopefully you enjoy it, and we will we will see you on the other side. All right, thank you. So come on, you gunners, and I'd like to leave you with these words: life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. All right, thanks.